When I was a kid, and I still kind of am, I was an incredibly picky eater. But one of the things that really kind of distinguished my pickiness was I didn't want my food to mix, right? So, I mean, the gravy couldn't really go into the vegetables, and everything had to have its separate place on my plate, or like clearly the food was contaminated, right? And so even at home now, like I have one of those plates that they have like the dividers. You have like three different places so the food doesn't have to touch. That got me thinking, sometimes it's easy to compartmentalize our faith the same way that I compartmentalize my food, right? In other words, we come to church, or we have our quiet time, or we have certain people in our lives where it's very natural to talk about things of faith, to pray, to bring them to God. But sometimes in the very kind of the ups and downs of life, the grind of life, in certain relationships, certain settings, it's easy to really compartmentalize our faith. And I think part of what our Psalm 35 is going to remind us today is God is not in the business of having our faith compartmentalized, like I had my food compartmentalized, but those barriers are meant to come down, where what we believe about Him is meant to permeate every aspect of our lives. So I'm going to read Psalm 35, 1 through 3. Contend, O Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler and rise up for my help. Draw the spear and javelin against my pursuers. Say to my soul, I am your salvation. So David is in a world of hurt here. There's a lot of persecutors that are after him. Now, I don't know about you, but when I feel like it's just wave after wave that kind of keeps crashing down on me in life, a lot of times my tendency is I'm going to really kind of kick it into high gear. I'm going to do what I do best. I'm going to react. I'm going to respond. I'm going to take matters into my own hands. And really what that is it's a kind of a compartmentalization of my faith. God is desiring and inviting us to really bring Him into every aspect of our life, just like David is doing here. Now, there's this one statement at the end of verse 3. He says, say to my soul, I am your salvation, or I am your deliverance. Many times in times of trial, our problem is that we listen to our thoughts rather than speak truth to our thoughts. There's so many false, challenging narratives that go through our mind of like why everything's unraveling, why God can't be trusted, why people are out to get us, right? Our thoughts can deceive us. Yet David's saying to God, like, speak to my soul, remind me, like, you're my salvation, you're my deliverance. See, when we compartmentalize our faith, we can get up in our own head, and from there, it's all downhill. But instead, we're being invited when it feels like wave upon wave is crashing upon us. God is inviting us to lean in, not compartmentalize our faith, invite Him in, and speak the truth of the gospel to our thoughts rather than listen to our thoughts. And as we do that, that will give us the grace and the endurance to persevere until He sets our feet upon the rock.